If you tuned into The Apprentice last night, you'll know that one team made a real dog's dinner of the task and was relabelled Team Tragic by Lord Sugar.
Remaining 11 contestants had to make and brand their own unique pet food.
That's it.
That's what we mean. And then make a telly advert to then sell it.
Well, here's the moment. Lord Sugar sent his latest victims packing.
To start thinking about who I'm going to go into business with. I haven't seen much of you, Ellie, and I don't think I could go into business with you. So I'm going to tell you that you're fired.
OK.
I got the feeling that you are too in awe of other people and that you are playing a bit of a risky game in strategising by bringing the wrong people in here. So I think a message needs to go back. So, Vincent, you're also fired.
OK. And Ellie and Vincent are with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
So when it came to the dog food, you got 2 for the price of 1, but it was wrong items going off the shelf, really, weren't they? You two. Yeah. Were you surprised, Vincent? Once Ellie goes, you know, that's it. It's sacking. You sort of, you know, could see it coming in a way. But then you sat there and did you think, oh, that's all right, I'm through?
I could see that he wasn't finished, and you know, I did think if we lost that task, I was up for the chop, and yeah, it was a bit of a shock. You know, I was quite happy to see Ellie go. Of course, I thought I could carry on in the process, but you know, it's pretty clear that I made the wrong decision. I brought one of the wrong. I didn't bring Jim in the boardroom, and I paid the price.
And of course, Jim was the person responsible for thinking up the name, although it was a collaborative effort. This Every Dog, which was much criticised.
Sure.
Yeah, it was Jim's idea. I mean, we all went along with it, to be fair, but it was him that was pushing it forward. So I think he was the obvious choice that Lord Sugar was angling for in the boardroom, and Vince didn't pick him.
And so much depends on who you take in as the losing project manager. Were you intimidated by him?
Well, by Jim?
By Jim,
No. I mean, what happens in this process, it's a strange one. You know, in real life, you build your own team, and, you know, if someone isn't good in that team, you make a decision on that person. But what you need to do, you need to focus very heavily on the task in hand. So in this particular situation, Jim was actually comparable for this task failing. He came up with the name Every Dog. And Lord Sugar said, the first thing he said when we got into the boardroom was, who came up with Every Dog? And Jim put his hand up. So at that point, it should have, you know, it should have registered with me.
But at that point, you almost all seemed to think that was a really good name. Because obviously you bought into it, and you ignored the advice of the vet and other people who said, look, actually, who said that actually Every Dog is almost insulting to owners. I was sort of pondering on that. I'm not a dog owner.
I have got a dog, you see. I was saying that small dogs eat small food, and I said it a few times, but in hindsight, I obviously didn't speak loud enough or shout loud enough.
Well, you started off, Vincent, encouraging your team, and then you seemed to get a little bit confused. Let's have a look.
What we could do is we could have some sort of advert where you've got the old school Labrador that everybody loves. You've got the it boy, the pug. They're getting together, don't like each other too much, but at the end of it, they become pals. And that would be the name of the brand, Pals.
Pal is already a name.
What's it got to do with the food?
Maybe not with...
It's the second biggest dog brand in the world.
Is it?
If not the first.
Well, it's all in the edit, isn't it, really?
And it's so difficult when you're under that much pressure to come up with something that works, and then you live or die by that one name.
I don't have a dog, you know, I've never had dogs. Ellie's had dogs.
So why didn't you listen to it? Because you say you didn't listen to it.
I did say it several times, and the vet said it, and Tom said it, but obviously, I don't know. I think Jim, you know, he really wants to win it. He is very competitive, and you know,
he's a marked man.
I think we all listened to him. We all listened to him about it.
Lord Sugar was really going for him at the end.
I think we'd won the task actually, because you know we had quite a coherent team. Everyone was doing pretty well.
We were gutted.
You know, we delivered on time. You know, if you actually watched, you watched the programme, the other team looked like they were in a bit of a mess.
Well, their presentation wasn't very good at all, was it?
Our advert was better, our billboard campaign.
Just
the idea that
normally it's a profit and loss thing, isn't it? And this time it was a value judgment.
Yes.
And
well, it's Lord Sugar's judgment. You know, we came up with a brand. I think what we tried to do, I think Lord Sugar said it himself in the boardroom, we tried to, you know, go one step too far. You know, there is a well-known airline that put their name to everything, and we tried to do that with every dog, every fish, every pet.
Too generic, basically.
We're a bit too open. But,
so how would you describe the experience?
I had a great time. I really enjoyed it, I have to say. But I think that was my downfall. I was too much part of the team, too much enjoying it, and not enough pushing myself forward to be seen by Lord Sugar.
Yeah,
really.
but that indicates then that you have to be single-minded and ruthless and biff everybody else out of the way if you want to win the competition. But does that make you the best business partner?
Well, it's a difficult thing, isn't it? Think about this. You know, you've come down to the last 16 out of tens of thousands. You all have to get along when you're in a task, but then compete with each other as well. You know, it's a tricky one.
It's a very difficult one.
It's tricky.
But I suppose what I'm getting at is has Lord Sugar got the right approach? And do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
In the sense that, you know, what you want is somebody who's actually good at business, good at making things and selling things, rather than somebody who's good at sort of doing hatchet jobs on other people in the board.
Yeah, I think if I'd have had opportunity to be project manager, I'd have shown that skill. But from Lord Sugar's point of view, he didn't see that from me. That was the problem. I think you need a mix of everything, really, and it is a very difficult situation.
To answer that, though,
hard,
I think Ellie as well. To answer that question, the proof will be in the pudding here, won't it? Let's see who wins this year, and let's see how well that business does.
Yeah.
And let's just see where they are in 3 years' time.
And very briefly, where are you now then, each of you? What are you up
Ladies
to?
first.
I've got 2 businesses that I had before, and I've still got now. It's A&E Construction and A&E Facilities, and they're both work in construction industry, so I'm pushing them forward.
Vincent?
Union Street Technologies. We're pushing our Ability software. I think you heard the name Ability come up during the process. So there was some thought behind that, that name.
All right, good to see you. Is it a prerequisite also? It seems to be that once you come off The Apprentice, you have to change your hair colour. Because you're not the first.
I got quite a few Keith Lemon references, but I think that was more my voice, hopefully. But and just to set the record straight, we are friends now, so anything that's written in the press is a bit twisted sometimes.
And she looks great. Now, I'm not saying that in a sleazy way, in a nice way. You know?
Just leave it there.
Yeah, leave it there.
All right, thanks very much.
I'll give you time.
Quick while you're only just slightly behind. All right,
See ya.
thanks.
And of course, The Apprentice continues next Wednesday, 9 p.m, BBC One. You can catch up on all the previous episodes on the BBC iPlayer.